Solon Schools sent the police after my son's imagination. I'm Todd Hagopian. In June, during the final week of school, Solon's artificial intelligence accused my 12-year-old of a thought crime. Their Silicon SWAT team called the cops because Robert wrote 8 words of fiction. And I quote, "Help, I'm trapped in a machine." 8 words of fiction, 0 violence. They have built a digital dragnet that cannot distinguish between Stephen King and a suicide note. Their mechanical mind readers mistook Minecraft for a manifesto. They have created an army of fantasy fascists who treat 12-year-olds like terrorists. Robert wrote fan fiction of a popular middle school book called FNAF. A book, by the way, that is celebrated in that very school's library. But when pixels met paranoia, and when algorithm met art, Solon Schools chose handcuffs over humanity and tried to send a report to the police. They didn't call his teacher. They didn't call his father. They called the police. And here's what that paranoid panic over one student's imagination caused. Robert has severe anxiety. He writes as a method of therapy. It's actually proven to work. So my anxious son has already written 2 full-length books, and he's a middle schooler. But he came home that day in tears, never wanting to write again, because he got detention for a simple creative writing project. That's your legacy. You've turned creative writing into a crime scene. My family bleeds books. I'm published. I have a 3-book deal. My wife digests libraries like they're lunch. Robert was a writer. He wrote 2 full-length books by the time he was 13 years old. Until you taught him that imagination was illegal in Solon Schools. Until your digital deputy decoded his diary and decided it was dangerous. Your software supplier, Lightspeed, markets itself as student safety. But safety from what? Safety from metaphors? Safety from make-believe? You've weaponized worry into a war on words. Now let's be clear. I've met with the superintendent. I've contacted the AI company. I am not asking anymore. I am demanding. Admit that this was a First Amendment violation, because it was. Abandon your authoritarian approach to AI monitoring of our children, and apologize publicly for criminalizing creativity. Because here's your choice. You can be remembered as the district that arrested imagination, or you can remember that schools are supposed to nurture writers, not terrorize them. You called the police on a 12-year-old's fiction. History will remember that. The internet will remember that. And every parent who values their children's creativity will remember that. My son came home that day and he asked, why did they even think the story was real? And I did not have an answer. It was that dumb. You violated Ohio State Senate Bill 29. It specifically prohibits monitoring creative content. You shattered the First Amendment. Tinker vs. Des Moines tells you exactly what you can and cannot punish children for when it comes to creative writing. This was nowhere near. But worse, you broke my boy's belief that school is safe for dreamers. Now let's be clear. He did not get arrested. The cops did not come. And guess what? That makes this even worse. Because you sent a report to the police with my boy's name on it, saying that there was a mental health crisis, and you never called us, and the police never called us. So was it a crisis or was it not? If it was not, why'd you send it to the police? And if it was, why didn't I get a phone call so that I could deal with my son's mental health crisis? What is going on? You've turned our schools into a creative writing courtroom where 12-year-olds stand trial for their thoughts. We are done being silent. You sent the cops after my son's story, and now I'm coming for your policies. Get ready.